Hi friends, and welcome to the PCOS Party Podcast, talking all things periods, Prosecco and problems. I'm your host, Georgie, qualified nutritionist, personal trainer and specialized health coach. After years of suffering, I know how difficult it is to navigate through all the misleading and confusing information that we find in this world today. So I'm here to help you cut the nonsense and understand how you can fuel your body to really heal and thrive. It wouldn't be a party without a little bit of fun along the way, so let's pop the Prosecco and get straight to it. Hi friends, and welcome to the first episode of the PCOS Party Podcast. I am so excited to be here. It's been a real long time coming, and it's honestly just so great that I can finally use my voice a bit more and a different platform to keep raising awareness about female health, about PCOS, and just generally the health world. So a little bit about myself. What do I do? Where do I come from? Why am I here today? My name is Georgie. I grew up in a little place called Surrey, just outside of London in the UK. I had a lovely childhood with 3 brothers being bullied atrociously and my dad throwing me on a rugby pitch age 8. So it's safe to say I had a interesting upbringing. However, I was lucky enough to go to an all-girls boarding school. However, while I was here, a lot of my health issues started to be very apparent as I was growing up. I lost my cycles for 3 years and I really struggled with my weight, where no matter what I did, no matter how sporty I was, and I played plenty of it, I always seemed to be the biggest of my friends. I had a lot of problems with my skin, a lot of anxiety problems, and just generally my health was pretty crap and pretty low. So I went to the doctors age 16 to figure out that I had these follicles on my ovaries, I had high testosterone levels, and I had something called polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now that stands for PCOS, and actually now it is the leading cause of infertility, and it affects diagnosed 1 in 8 females, but actually they think it's 1 in 5 just due to the lack of education and awareness in the world today. So that began my journey of a huge roller coaster of emotions and symptoms and really figuring out sort of what on earth was going on. Through this time, I definitely developed a love for nutrition because I'm not a quitter, and I wanted to, give it a good go of figuring out what was going on in my body and my health. So I actually went to Leeds Uni and I studied Biochemistry and Nutrition. But through this time, I was also obviously figuring out what was going on with myself. So while I was at uni, I was pretty much a chaotic, erratic mess. Doctors, one of the things that they will do is they will put you on birth control to supposedly help your symptoms of PCOS. Now, what I have now realized is that it doesn't help. It actually suppresses your natural hormones and acts as a bit of a plaster over a wound for these symptoms. And once you then come off birth control later on in life, they can come back even more aggressively. Not only this, when you are on birth control, and I'm sure many of you ladies can probably relate, it affects you mentally, physically. No wonder men out there call us girls psychos. There is a reason for that word, and that is the pill for sure. So through my uni years, I also developed sort of very bad relationships with food, with my body, some eating disorders, which was really tough as a young female to navigate, through university and sort of the best years of your life. So after uni, I was working in London for a couple of years, actually balancing between the nightlife world and the fitness world, which is a bit contradictory, but hey, all about a party. And I always had this sort of underlying urge to travel, a bit of a black sheep of the family, want to just hop on planes and go and explore the world. So after, again, still struggling along the way with all of this, with my health and figuring out what the hell was going on, I decided to move to Dubai. And now 6 years on, a lot of my friends actually had dibs that I'd only be here for a year. I couldn't be happier. And this is where I started my business called It's PCOS Party. Now, before I get to that, when I was in Dubai for the first 4 years, before I started PCOS Party, I worked for a corporate events company. So very much office-based, which again was a big test on my health. I was going back and forth to different doctors in Dubai, again, many of them just popping me on birth control or metformin or just throwing drugs at the situation, which now I've really come to understand is not what heals PCOS whatsoever. It is a metabolic disorder. It is an inflammatory condition. We have to heal it through food and through diet and through lifestyle. So the one thing that I guess sort of saved me and gave me the urge to start PCOS is I quit the 9 to 5 and I hopped on a plane to Bali. Everyone's like, oh, you went and found yourself. I didn't go and find myself. I guess I healed myself. And I went there and learned a hell of a lot for a good 8-9 months. I started actually working as a nutritionist for another company while understanding and learning so much from digital nomads and health coaches about food as medicine, and really actually using my nutrition degree to the max, but also obviously after the years of sort of scientific research and constantly spending my life reading the latest evidence. All of this kind of meshed into one to get me where I was after sort of traveling and whatnot. And it gave me the urge to realize you can work anywhere, and you've got to take risks in life and follow your passion. So after this year of really focusing on my health, I got myself back to me. I worked on my self-love, my confidence. I managed to basically improve all my symptoms to the point that when I came back to the UK once COVID happened, I went to the doctors and there are no signs of PCOS in my body whatsoever. So I have managed to reverse the condition completely naturally without any medication and just through diet and lifestyle alone. I guess the one real positive that COVID could hopefully give a lot of us, and it definitely gave to me, was time. Time is obviously something that we all struggle to have. And for the first time, I was locked down in my family house with my chaotic family, but with huge motivation to actually give this a good go. And I turned my pain into a passion and started It's PCOS Party with one Instagram account. I remember doing my first story, walking around my garden outside, stumbling and muttering, and did it about 20 times. I was so nervous to click post. But as soon as you stop really caring what other people think and just know that you've got a solution to a lot of people's problems, it really gives you that sort of kick up the bum to get going and doing it. So that was about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now. God, COVID, wild. And I am now here with a fully fledged business, up and running in Dubai, helping hundreds of other women really understand, take control of their health, invest in their health and put themselves first, and realize that a condition like PCOS does not define you. You can make little changes. You can adjust your diet and lifestyle to really improve your symptoms and heal and thrive. So that is where we are today with PCOS Party. We've had some absolute milestones throughout launching. Honestly, it's the real sort of fire in my belly. The reason why I wake up is to literally help women. I have one-to-one coaching. I have online courses. I'm partnering with some amazing companies, and I'm just doing what I can to spread and raise awareness of this message that it's not just PCOS as well. There's so many conditions now in this world. In fact for you, 75% of the conditions that are killing us do not have a cure. And most of them is caused by inflammation. So there's lots that we will be discussing in all the different episodes around this, around sort of infertility, birth control, female health. I want to get some of my guy friends on to quiz them about their, education and what they know about sort of us females, because it is so important that they are also understanding what goes on with us and how our cycles are and how they can help us and support us. So I've got lots of exciting things to come, some amazing special guests, lots of sort of empowering females in their own industry and, doing big things out in Dubai and in the space. And I'll also be getting on some of my gal pals where we're going to sit around with a glass of wine and just talk normal girl stuff. So for the first series, I am so excited to be inviting some epic females onto the podcast. We're going to be filming and recording in the Myco studio, so I'm super excited to be able to do this with them. These females hopefully will give you guys as listeners, as viewers, some education around different topics, whether that's how to start a business or, different areas in health, which you can obviously take into your day-to-day life and use and just become a better, healthier, happier human. So without further ado, if you have any questions, obviously you can reach out to me. I'm most active on Instagram, which is It's a PCOS Party. Please do follow me for sort of daily tips, tricks and hints. And there also is the link in my bio with lots of other access to lots of free material and downloads and stuff that can hopefully really help you, your PCOS and your health. But I'm so excited for you to be here. I can't wait to get these females on board and chatting everything and putting the world to right. So take care and see you soon.